Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our game of chess. As you know it, we'll be playing the game and we'll be having light conversations. I don't know why Luakayode made it like it's going to be one very big political conversation, but I mean, we're going to try our best. But I am Olaoluwa Awe, the news lady, and to my left is Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour, and to my right is Kolawole. So how many of us do not understand how chess works? I just want to, if you do not understand how chess works, okay. So we have a sizable number of us. So before we start the game, we're just going to have Kolawole, take us through how this works. I believe the camera will be focused on the game. So we understand, I want everyone to be carried along. So we understand how this works. Then we're going to start playing the game. So, Kola.
I mean, it's just a game of strategy, as some of us would know. And I mean, there are quite a number of pieces. There's the pawn piece, the ones in front, the pawns in front. And then we have the bishop that has a peculiar movement. It can move an infinite number of steps in an X or Y axis. I don't know if you get the drill. It can go this way in a cross movement. Then we have the knight that can move in an L L movement, like for example, this piece here, if you have the camera showing this, can move L this way, or one step to one direction and two steps to the other direction, just an L movement, basically. Then we have the bishop that can move diagonally and infinitely. So we have that happening for the bishop. There is the queen, which is the most powerful piece on the chessboard, that can move diagonally, cross, and what have you. It's the most powerful piece, can move anyhow on the board. We have the king, also very important, but also very vulnerable. It can only move one step in any direction, and it's under the risk of being checked by any piece on the board. Checking means in a situation where the king's current position is compromised, and it cannot but move to where it's no longer under threat. So in that case, the player has to find a way to escape from that check. A checkmate, on the other hand, means there's nowhere to move or run to him anymore. So that's checkmate. So we have the other bishop, we have the knight, and we have the rook from the other end. There are other nuances to it, and there are other details, but we can't waste time on that. I think you agree with
Perfect.
that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, nothing to add, nothing to subtract. And so before we go ahead with this, I know that a number of people believe that chess game is a very strategic game. And I just want to hear from you. Why do you think that is so?
I play chess to just relax.
Ooh.
Right? It's a hobby of mine. And I like the fact that, like politics, different people have different strengths. And these strengths can be manifested at different times. And it's also about organizing and planning steps ahead and thinking ahead, anticipating what your opponent might do. So it's very good mental exercise, right? So I find it very enjoyable.
I hear it's a game for geniuses, but since you just play it for fun, yeah, that says something. But then, just for the benefit of those who are not very familiar with this chess game, how do you know who wins, who loses, and all of that?
I think you explained it. When the king is checked and there's nowhere else for him to move and you've captured your opponent's king, then the game is over. So unfortunately, normally we're supposed to have a timer because we don't have a lot of time, right? So we'll just try and play as fast as possible, but normally you're supposed to have a timer so everybody has less than a minute to make a move.
All right, let us just maximize everything we have at our disposal right now. And welcome to the game of chess. Once again, Mr. Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour and Kolawole. Let us start. Let's start. I think we should start from here.
Okay, so let Mr. Gbadebo play first.
Oh, okay.
Please, a round of applause for Shino. And to the dollar rich man. Thank you for honoring us.
I think I should use this opportunity to have a proper handshake with Mr. G.
Fair enough, fair enough. Thank you.
By election, all this one carry our candidate now.
So let's get ready for another round of games, chess. It's coming up right now. Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour, they're setting the pieces, and let's see who will smile, let's see who will cry at the end of the game. And I hope that after Gbadebo whips Kolawole, there will not be there will not be any need for Kolawole to become.
I never knew chess could be this difficult, but I can see some people muttering and praying, Father, not put me to shame. Do not put me to shame. I must win.
So I also understand that one thing that makes the game of chess very strategic is that you literally need to plan your moves ahead. For every move you're making, you are anticipating the opponent's move as well. And I mean, that is one thing that I know that people do in politics as well. So, I mean, people also say things like when you play a game of chess with someone, it helps you to read the person. You know, some people even say that understanding who the person is to an extent, you know, what they like, what they do not like, it helps you to anticipate the move that they will make. So maybe at the end of this game, we're going to find out what you know about Kolawole and when Kolawole has found out about you. But speaking about how close this is to politics, in politics, how important is it for you to be able to anticipate the move of your opponent?
Unfortunately, the type of politics we play in Nigeria, the moves that you have to anticipate are very, very different, right? So in a sane society, your strategy will be about my campaign, my vision, your manifesto, when you want to put a press release out, where you're going to go and campaign and all of that. But in Nigeria, you're thinking about security for your people that want to just regular citizens that want to vote. You are thinking about people telling lies about you and saying all sorts of nonsense about you that hold no weight in reality, and how you tackle that. You're dealing with people and a game that the truth does not matter, and it's about distractions. And distractions that are supposed to set people against each other so they don't actually engage with the realities of their lives, right? Which no politician has to tell you about. You know how much you're paying for fuel. You know how much you're paying for electricity. You read when they said the refineries are going to start working. You also read when they said they've abandoned the refineries. So, yeah, I think it's a different kind of situation, and it's not a very evolved political space.
Are you saying that in the Nigerian political space, it's a bit difficult to, predict the move of the opponent, so to say, or to play opposition, so to say?
I won't say that. I think when you have been in the space long enough and consistent enough, it's very easy to predict the move of people that don't really have much to offer. Because if you don't have a vision, you sell division. So that is easily predicted. And it's the same template that is used again and again and again. Unfortunately, it just increases in desperation. So you might see violence might have happened in 2019 in 2 local governments, and then see that it has expanded to the whole of Lagos in 2023.
Is this how intensely you look when you're reading the mood of the opposition? GRV.
You're getting me to be thinking about APC and playing the chess. That's not easy at all. But
Great.
it's good.
It is, right?
There are people that can play 10 games at the same time.
Wow.
Ah,
You know, so.
okay.
Can
What's
be
the
very-
maximum of games you've played at once?
No, just this.
Just
it's
one.
for
One at a time.
relaxation. Relaxation.
But
Is it really relaxation for you? I think it's like stressful actually.
No, it's relaxing.
So it's like working out mentally. So you're going to the
Yes.
gym,
Yes, yes.
which is not relaxing, right? So when you're done at the gym, you feel relaxed. That is it for me.
But would you like to tell us what you're thinking about right now? I mean, what is running through your mind as you are trying to make your move?
We should have lifelines, right?
Where?
You know, this silence actually reminds me of how Nigerians look on when politicians are planning. When APC says something, yes, they are right. And somebody that is saying APC is right today, tomorrow says, yes, PDP is right. And yes, Labour Party is right. But they are there strategizing. Because almost every politician right now is strategizing towards 2027. And we are looking on and enjoying the game.
So are you saying this is what it looks like?
Well,
Probably.
we're recreating what it looks like. Because no politician will make a move except they are sure about it.
I don't know if that is true.
Mm.
When I was in the PDP and, we came to an agreement and that agreement was defaulted, I cannot tell you that I knew for certain that Labour Party would become what it became. Sometimes you have to take a chance.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to go with what you feel and what you sense before people can feel or sense it. And just have faith in that journey. So when people talk about politics and feel that they must have everything figured out, or you must know this person or know that person, or have the amount of money that people talk about, I don't. My life is a testimony completely against that, right? I move because I believe that I have the onus to make a difference. I believe I have the capacity to make a difference. And I just tried, like chess, just take the best step you can take at each point in time. There's sometimes where you can see a bigger play, and you have the capacity for a bigger play,
Yeah.
and you make it. But sometimes you just make the best move you can make at any point in time.
And then there's sacrifice as well. Sometimes you've made a move and you hope that the opposition hasn't figured you out, so you're hoping that you could get away with that. And it happens in real life, We all make mistakes. No one is perfect. So sometimes you make a move and you just hope you don't pay dearly for it.
There are two things I take away from what Kola Ole is saying. First of all, I think I made a mistake telling him that he's not here as a journalist, because suddenly he's giving us political advice. I just wonder who he is to be doing that. I mean, you're a bloody journalist, man.
He's giving us life advice.
Life advice,
More
not
like
political.
life.
We're trying to tell, we're trying to get people to, chess can be easy, sometimes it can be very tedious, right? If you're playing with someone who is like a grandmaster. Like my brother is a grandmaster.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a grandmaster, but he's not a very public person, So he's the one who, of course, inspired me to have some interest in chess. And I like the fact that you said it's mental workout. You're just trying to work out your brain, because the brain is like a muscle. If you leave it fallow, you're gonna pay dearly for it. So it helps you actually. You think ahead of things, 2-3 steps ahead, and you make sacrifices when you have to, because life is about the sacrifices that you can make, the things that you can pay for the immediate, for the future, for the midterm. There's a lot of things happening at the same time.
Wow.
You said something about movement now, GRV.
Sorry, who's playing?
You.
Okay.
So you said something about movement. I mean, this is something that we see in a game of chess, but this is also something we see in Nigeria's political scene. And I mean, we've seen you move a number of times. Just now, you talked about how some movements are done in faith. You know, is that what you had in mind, or I mean, was that also what necessitated your movement now from the to the ADC, so to say, because we know that that is very recent?
Yes. As a short answer and very, very to the point, yes. Because you see a situation where the Labour Party has been bedeviled with a number of issues that unfortunately were supposed to be solved politically, but has not been done. And there was a Supreme Court judgment that came out that only even confused things the more. And up till now, INEC is yet to take a stand on that judgment, and we're now in what, October. Primaries are going to happen between March and April next year. Campaigns will start. So if a party has not figured itself out at this point as to who are the leaders of that party, and the leadership is still in question, it's a very, very big problem. It's not a solid platform to launch off on.
And there are people who believe that great parties are made. You know, they believe that, you know, as a flag bearer of a party at one point in time, they expect that, oh, I mean, you should be able to help put the party in order. You should, I mean, some people believe that there are other parties too, they've had their issues, but we've had people who have been able to, one way or the other, unite the party in times of crisis. You know, what is your take about when it comes to that? I mean, like is this something that is very important, especially when election is 1 year, 2 years ahead? How important is that to you, building a party?
I think it's extremely important, but you know, you don't build a party in a vacuum, right? People must also be of the same like mind. They must have, you know, that one mind to actually make that happen, right? So you have a situation where if there's no oneness of purpose, you just find you're expending a lot of energy without moving forward, right? And when you're trying to face the kind of political situation that we currently have, you must maximize, you know, your opportunity, in the sense that you need a coalition. You need a strong, formidable coalition. I mean, I just wanted to declare, just for all my followers to come and do an affirmation. I had thugs come and just destroy the entire place, hurt so many people, beat so many people. And this is despite actually setting up 4 different holes. We're planning till the last minute. People did not even know where they were coming to, and they still did that. Now imagine you're dealing with that kind of thing, and then you're also dealing with uncertainty in the political party. You know, there's only too much that I can handle. Like, for instance, I'm having an engaged conversation with you, I'm playing chess.
Oh, that's a silent way to say, you know what, let me focus. All right, okay. And I'm just
He's under
wondering.
pressure, actually. So.
Yeah. I see, just knocked them off one. How do you call that? You know, in other games that are more local, you call it, I don't chop them. You don't
chop them, actually, but
is it chop them you call it in chess?
It's too early.
So in chess, it's not about who chops what. It's about who checkmate who. So I might have even more pieces than him, and he could checkmate me. So it's not the way you think it is.
So it's about the end.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's about the end game.
So chess is not, that means chess cannot be that interesting, because when you're playing checkers, for example, you allow the person plot, or you plot, and it just gets to a point, you pick one seed and go, I chop him, 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 and you end the game. You know, that's it. But just like chess, I've heard you say a lot that chess is like politics. Can you rig in chess?
No.
You can't.
You want to do
that?
What a question.
No, I just wanted to know. You know, and the way this game is going, maybe when you're a bit more settled, I like Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour to answer this question. I've asked this question on air a couple of times, and the question is simply, can one get involved in Nigerian politics without decamping? can you have a politician in Nigeria who practiced politics 10 years, 15 years without decamping? Because I remember when I first interviewed Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour, GRV, around 2021 or so, it was on the political artistry then. And we spoke about him. I think he had left COA party. It's COA, right? It was COA then?
Yes.
Yeah. He had left COA party. I'm not sure if he had joined the PDP then or not. He joined the PDP. What happened happened. He had to leave to the Labour Party. And now Labour Party is with the ADC. And Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour, with all that he says and the way he presents himself, tries not to be like the typical Nigerian politician. Yet, he's decamped. So is it possible to do politics in Nigeria? If you also
I think you always have to clarify this concept of decamping.
Okay.
Decamping is usually a person abandoning a base that gave them victory for a base that only serves themselves. So if you cannot beat them, join them. You understand? So like for instance, you see what happened in Edo State, you see what happened in Cross River. The people decided that this was where they wanted to go. They got their representative in. Maybe EFCC charges, I don't know what pressure they put on him. Now he has moved to the camp that the party, right, rejected, right? So you now have a situation where it's about their own selfish interests. Now, as much as I've moved, it has been consistently against the APC and the ruling party, right? So there's consistency in that. Do you understand? So it's not so much about, because at the end of the day, what is the benefit to the movement?
And that's the question we're asking politicians, because...
No. I can tell you now.
Yeah, it's to get power.
No. What is the benefit? If I joined APC now, I
Yes.
know what the benefit is, right? Most people would agree. If you join the ruling party, even if you are a sinner, your sins are forgiven. There's some benefit to it. So what is the benefit of going from one opposition party to another opposition party to another opposition
Now,
party?
okay, the reason we've seen or heard politicians say that, because we've seen and heard politicians move from one opposition to the other opposition. There are people, at least up until maybe 2015, who had never been with the ruling party. They've been playing around the opposition party. And the ultimate is get into office. Now, the reason I ask that question is because a lot of times you've seen people who, even within the APC, right now, because they are ruling party, but back then when they were in the PDP, people within the PDP who felt they could not maximize all what they wanted there, and they left the ruling party to an opposition party, and they contested maybe a local government election or something, and they won. So that's what we're saying. If they feel that they were stressed...
I'm going to have to ask somebody else questions. I can't keep up with this.
I told you.
Yeah. Wow.
It's getting serious, yeah.
It is getting
It
serious.
is. And
I mean, but you said something about, I mean, we spoke about chess earlier on, and we're trying to do some metaphor for how the game applies to politics. You've moved to the ADC now. Do you think there is a chance that that could be a blunder? Because in chess you have blunder moves. Do you see that? Do you think that could be a blunder on the long run?
like I said, in chess also, sometimes you take the best step you can take at any point in time. Right? And also, you must constantly, and the idea is it's a coalition, right? The success of a coalition is for the entire opposition to come together, right? And in achieving that, you've achieved success. So that we're in the ADC today does not mean that everybody might not come together and coalesce on another platform, or other platforms will not come in here. The idea is, in 2027, we want one united opposition because we don't want to divide votes as we did in 2023.
I'm just
And
wondering.
speaking of political parties, I would also want to throw this question in. We have a number of political parties in Nigeria, and as we've mentioned, you have experienced a number of them as well. Do you really think that political parties in Nigeria run by ideologies? Ideologies to actually really develop the country, or as believed by a number of Nigerians, do you really think largely a number of people who move in and out of political parties are just there for their personal interests or power, so to say?
Every party has an ideology on paper. It is for the people to manifest, to bring that ideology to life. And you see that there was serious ideology back then with the Chief Obafemi Awolowo's, the Lateef Jakonde's, Nnamdi Azikiwe's. These were people that believed in ideas, and they brought it manifest. Unfortunately, for most part, most political parties now are special purpose vehicle for self-aggrandizement and accumulation of wealth. That being said, there are some unique things in the ADC manifesto that get me quite excited. Like one, it's enshrined in the Constitution that they will not allow the structure to be held by one person or a money bag or a godfather. You can literally go to court to fight that type of imposition. That's not in any other political constitution that I'm familiar with. So that's something that's interesting to me.
I'm kind of thinking about how that will work, like in reality. Like we have a political party. Every time one person wants to, pull his weight to probably achieve his personal interest or goal, people go to courts to challenge that. I mean, is that the only strategy in paper or not that the ADC has in place, or are there more? Because, I mean, we know how court judgments also go in Nigeria. I mean, is that also like a reliable strategy to checkmate personal interests within the party?
I mean, it starts to have it in there, right? And if it's there, people can also, courts does not have to be the final arbiter. Good politics is all of us sit down and say, this is our constitution. What you are doing is wrong. It's not acceptable. We are not accepting it, right? And the good thing is when you also have a number of powerful people together in a party, it becomes very difficult to try and dominate one over the other.
At this point, I think I should also ask the two players how they are feeling. Like, Kolawole, how are you feeling? Do you feel on top of the world?
He's doing well. Someone plays, I think you'll be taking a bit far to say you can read how someone thinks from chess.
Don't you play the way you think?
Not necessarily.
Not exactly, though.
Like, for instance, the mood here is different. I have to play quickly, right? I'm also having to talk to you and think and, So the mood is different. And also, you can be in a mood to just attack. You can be in a mood to defend.
So what mood are you in right
It depends. Sometimes things could happen and you could switch to defensive mode to sort things out. But chess is like passive aggression.
Okay.
So it's like warfare happening on the board. There are different characters or different pieces that can do different things for you. And if you're too excited, you could even lose what you think you've gained. So if you think you've gotten something, you might have been losing everything. So it can be boring to people who don't like it.
Exactly. But I think while on that note of boredom, it would be nice for us to be good to our guests. I wouldn't like Kolawole to outdo GRV.
Why?
So be soft, please. Is our guest.
I beg you, no. I came to have fun.
But
So
while
let's
you
play.
play,
We don't rig here.
we don't. Oh, okay. All
don't
right.
rig
Thank you for correcting.
What do
that.
you mean by we don't read?
You need to tell me where rigging takes place. But
No, you
while
can't
you're
you can't
playing,
do anything on this.
you can. No, keep playing. We don't want to distract you.
Okay.
Joking, man.
we just
Yeah.
pass the mic round and have some comments from our audience here, and so that you can concentrate and play. They interact with us because we are live on Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. And we're broadcasting right from here at the Mosan Center in Onikon. So we'll go to the audience. I'd like to start from our students. If they have any question or any conversation or any comment, rather, that they want to share right now, raise your hand. Yes.
Coyote, if we have people in the audience who have questions for GRV,
Yes.
I think we can start to note them now so that maybe
When it's ready.
when he's a bit more relaxed, or when we're done, he can take all of those questions.
I hope you won't be sweating too profusely by that time. but let me ask you, before I go to the audience, what is the longest duration you spent playing chess?
Like an hour.
Wow. Okay. Can you end it halfway after like 30 minutes?
I mean, we can
And call it truce?
We can play very quickly, or sometimes you just count the points.
Okay, I think that's what we'll do in the next few minutes.
When you're using a timer.
Yeah.
So
we're
the
using
timer
the
thing
timer
makes
now.
you think. So the funny thing about using the timer is that's when it's competitive,
Yeah,
right? So you could think differently when there's a timer.
yeah.
So
I'd like you
there's-
to think differently now. So I'll snap every 1 minute. So while you're doing that, let's just get some comments. Anything at all you have to say. And if you don't get from the students, we'll come back here. I see you're getting busy. Maybe we'll just come to other adults here and get some comment from you.
Thank you very much. My name is AY once again. Though it sounds funny, but I remember was it on Instagram or something, someone asked that this GRV, why is he always on white? So that's why I say it seems funny, but I really want to know, sir, if you can tell us, sir. Most times I see you wearing white. So can you explain, sir?
It's my symbol. It's my uniform. It speaks of peace. It speaks of cleanliness. It speaks of purity. It speaks of just that potential new thing, right? That's unblemished, right? And yeah, so it stands out. I don't know any color that won't stand out more than white. You know, maybe what color? Give me one color.
You know, or is it because whites almost always look good on any African man?
I don't know about that. That did not factor into my.
She's giving you
that did not factor into it.
I don't know one African that doesn't look good in white.
And
Like,
also, it's a
like
Lagos thing.
Okay.
It's a Lagos thing. Like
Like
in
the-
terms of
your
our
master
culture,
rate.
it's a
How
Lagos-
is that a Lagos thing?
You said it, sir. All right. Whose turn?
You.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's mine.
All right, one more question here.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Nonso, and it's what I have is not more like a question. I'd like maybe GRV, Kolawole, Olaoluwa can take it as a commentary. So, I mean, and I particularly picking this because of the benefit of the young students who are here with us. Part of the things that education is supposed to do is, you know, reshape your mind to be able to think, create, innovate, and bring new ideas to life, right? And part of the things that children learn in school is the simple art of debating, where you have people debating for, some are debating against. And I think part of the things that should do from the young stage in school is to also prepare young children for politics, to be able to engage, you know, with the people, with the public. But in my mind, I don't think I see enough engagement in politics in Nigeria, to be honest. I've not been thrilled to a good debate since '99, and even beyond that. So I'd like you to, it's not a question, so I want you to take this as, you want to speak to this as well, you know, just in your own way, from your own view as well.
Young people's involvement in politics?
Engaging the young people, introducing them to politics, guiding them to know what goes on in politics, not just leaving them to watch and listen to whiskey alone, but bring them into politics as well. And debate, if they debate and, Yes, between the candidates. And, okay, what else? Okay, between the candidates who are contesting.
So I think
Yeah.
he thinks, having periodic debates will just spark that interest in young people.
Yes, maybe.
Okay.
And talking debates, I think I remember, was it 2000 and, was it 7? No, it was 2011 elections, governorship election, Lagos State. Governor Fashola was debating, and there were like 3 or 4 people, in that debate. And there was this man, not too tall, who kept talking about the things he wants to do, and was talking, and I was watching then from Ghana. I was, following the debate, and he said some things that were, to everybody, you couldn't achieve it. And at some point, I think the moderator asked him, so, at what cost? He said, at all costs. Because whenever I spoke, I said, how are you going to get the money to do this? He said, well, we'll look for the money. So he said, at what cost? He said, at all costs. I'm like, yes. Even Governor Fashola himself, then he just laughed. I'm like, all right, let's go to you, Architect Olaleko.
Good afternoon, GRV.
Good afternoon, sir.
So, as an architect, you are a senior colleague. One thing that fascinated me towards you during the last manifesto is you have this brand, the Architect of a New Lagos.
Yeah.
And I've always been telling people that this current dispensation, people that are in, the current people that are in office, they always say megacity, anything, megacity. And I keep telling people, megacity does not translate to any development. It's just a population in excess of 10 million. So if you are telling us megacity, what development projects have you implemented to drive that population? So when you now say Architect of a New Lagos, can you please tell us the vision you have for Lagos by using that term?
What you're saying will mean he needs to stop playing chess, because it means you need to dig into his manifesto. And while we support good governance and we would like to balance the equation, give everybody a platform, if he's going to pitch his manifesto now, he will need to get an invoice. So, but of course, you respond to that. Just give him some time to find his way on that board.
And perhaps let's throw in a lighter question.
My name is Rashid. Okay. So my own question is that, are you a progressive? That's my first question. And secondly, what is one thing you have in mind to do for Lagos that will touch every citizen of Lagos? What is that thing? How you are going to do that thing? When you do it finish, how that thing will look like? And I want to ask you again that, do you support presidential candidate of ADC to be truly open to all Nigerians or to South alone? And who do you like to support as a presidential candidate of ADC in 2027?
This one is more difficult than this chess game. But you know what I'm thinking? I'm here to actually talk, not really here to play chess with myself and just enjoy myself. Is to exchange ideas. So I think I will keep this on the side for now. Let me answer those two very, very important questions. The first one was about a new Lagos, architect of a new Lagos. So what does that mean? What am I trying to create? We want a Lagos that works for everybody. A Lagos that is not developed at the expense of the poor. A Lagos where everybody has a pride of place. So you are prioritizing affordable housing. You are prioritizing good urban planning that allows for children in places that you otherwise call a slum to have proper recreational areas. You are planning and ensuring that just because your friend is rich and he wants to sandfill and build an estate and sandfill a wetland that will later cause flooding in that local government, right? We are not going to accept that anymore. We are going to protect our wetlands so that Lagos is not constantly flooding and then they come and call it climate change. In 2023, when they had just started testing the sandfilling of Makoko, when you are going on bridge, you see it. I said it in the debates. I said, after this election, these people are going to sandfill this place, and then they will say it's climate change that's causing flooding on Lagos mainland. 90% of the issues that we have in Lagos are man-made, right? Because, first of all, there's a swamp. The people that have lived there for centuries build on stilts. But you think that the good idea or the brilliant idea is to sandfill the place and stop the natural flow of water. Obviously, flooding is going to happen. But then you could do like Venice, you could do like Venice, you could do like Amsterdam, you could do like parts of the Netherlands where they build on stilts in ways that are more advanced so that water can still flow underneath and you're not stopping natural flow of water. So those are some things when we talk about a new Lagos from urban planning. The idea that every local government can stand on its own independently. So you have good schools there, you have good hospitals there. Everything you need to thrive in that local government is there. So you are reducing movement from Ikeja all the way to Etiosa. You are reducing movement from Alimosho to Ajeromi or wherever. So you look at how urban planning works in most developed states, countries, cities, you minimize movement, right? So everything you need should be a walking distance away from you, right? And that is in relation to urban planning and making services available. And then also looking across Lagos State and giving each local government, each central district, their own comparative advantage. If Badagry is about tourism, what can we do to draw more people there? How can we ensure that more villas, more tourist destinations can come there? What incentives can we put in place, right? You look at Ekpe, for instance, aquaculture, very important. You look at Ikorodu as well. And I talked about having saddle bridges. So as opposed to having a long fourth mainland bridge that will just become another third mainland bridge in terms of traffic, connecting Eastern Foreshore and Ibejuleki with the shortest bridges that divide, that can join them at their shortest distances. One, it to be cheaper. Two, the circulation around the city will be much more efficient, right? So these are some ideas when I say a new Lagos. Those are some of the ideas I'm thinking about. So I'm going to leave you on that one. And then your own chess question. You set me up 3 times. Like this guy gave me a checkmate. You want me to talk about presidential candidate of ADC? How about now? Politics is local. What is happening at the national level, we'll figure it out. I'm interested in what's happening in Lagos State. And that's what we're building, a robust coalition. We're trying to get in as many people as possible. We are also understanding what is happening in Lagos State and putting structures in place to avoid being bullied, to avoid being intimidated. I posted on Twitter this afternoon videos of the NURTW chairman threatening his own members for a gathering that I did in Ajeromi Feludu. That how could they allow that happen without any attacks, right? And he's calling them and saying that they'll be punished for that. This is the type of democracy that we're practicing in Lagos State, a state that has been controlled by the same group of people for over 24 years, and they cannot campaign based on ideas and things they have done. They have to resort to violence. And I always say this, violence is the last refuge of incompetence. When you cannot play, you're not doing what you're supposed to do right, you then turn to violence. If you don't have a vision, you sell division. If you have a vision for your people, you will come and tell them your vision for them. You will not be telling them, oh, knocking their heads together to fight themselves, and then setting a very bad example for this young generation that's coming behind us. Your other question was about, am I a progressive? With the people that have been calling themselves progressives, you know, that title is like a stain on me right now, and I wear white. I don't like to be stained. You understand? The kind of people that are walking around calling themselves progressives, honestly, it's a disgrace to that tag. Right? Because what is progressive? Is it to put your people in perpetual hunger? Is it to Almajerize the Southwest? Is it a situation where there was once a time in this country where we valued education? Look at the times of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Look at what Alhaji Lateef Jakonde achieved with education, where people were going to school and were going to school in quotas and in sections. This man came and made it a point for everybody to get an education. Most of the people in office today, if not for him, they might not have an education. Most of the people in office today, if not for him, they probably would not have had affordable housing. Now, if you are talking about progressives like Alhaji Lateef Jakonde, I'll say, yes, please, sign me up. But now we have affordable housing that they are selling among themselves. It never gets to people that need it. We have a set of leaders that are using alpha beta to collect huge percentages of the income that Lagos generates. Meanwhile, children are in schools without proper tables, without proper textbooks. Rain is falling into their classrooms, their roof is a mess. There's no more value for education. Instead, what we value are making our young men violent and thugs, and we celebrate that. That is now what we celebrate. Like how violent you can set a huge group of youth population to be because the state has failed them. So the people that are behind that, they call themselves progressives. So, no.
If I could just chime in here. So you are part of the opposition now, and I know the opposition play isn't peculiar to Nigeria. I mean, in the UK, you have the opposition really giving the Labour Party, their own Labour Party, a run for their money, right? Don't you think that the opposition, and when I say opposition, I mean the ADC, the PDP, and everyone else, don't you think is selling the narrative that if the opposition gets into office, it's going to be hunky-dory, it's going to be kumbaya, it's going to be food on the table automatically the next day, jobs on the streets, end of insecurity, and so on and so forth, because it feels like it's a fairy tale. Because every country of the world definitely has their own woes, they have their own drawbacks. So don't you think it's just a play to get into power?
No, I don't think so. I think that if somebody can come into office and say that he met Nigeria almost bankrupt, and then in the same year spent 21 billion renovating the vice president's lodge, that is madness to me. And if I'm saying that we'll correct that, that is not a fairy tale. It's just we will not be stupid. We will not spend money that we don't have. We will not borrow money for luxuries. And when you tighten your belt like that, you're also sending a signal down. And that's what Alhaji Lateef Jakonde achieved. He was developing Lagos without any direct benefit to himself. That's why he could do so much in such a short time, right? And that's what we are saying. I'm not saying that everybody in opposition thinks the way I'm thinking, right? But I am in opposition and this is how I think. And it's for me to constantly put these ideas out there.
Does your current, the ADC, do they think like that? Does everyone think like that?
In the Constitution, it is primarily said that this party is constituted to put the interest of the majority first, right? And I'm not somebody that will sit down here and say to you that everybody that is joining the ADC believes in that or has sworn a blood oath to uphold that, right? And I cannot answer for all of that. I can say that this is our constitution. I can say that the people, I work with people, or I will support people or push for people that have empathy. Because I think that is one of the biggest qualities any leader in Nigeria needs right now. Because when you're, the kind of suffering that's happening in Nigeria, you must literally have a heart of stone to continue looting the way you are doing. I mean, you see what happened with the humanitarian minister. This is money that's supposed to make the lives of Nigerians better. It's moved to a private account. That woman is not in prison right now, is she? But a young boy that is doing small yahoo, EFCC will just flood and they've carried him away. Right? So I feel that to be in opposition is not easy, right? To be in opposition is not easy. It's a sacrifice in itself. And these are also people that are in opposition because they cannot stand what is currently going on in the ruling party. Right? So it's the first step.
Okay, I think you should make a move so we can wrap
All
up.
right. At this point, I think the people are about to make a move. And
Okay.
the move of the people is that we count the points.
Okay.
And
At the points he wins. He has my queen.
oh, yeah, is one of your queen the heart of your queen?
Yeah, he has taken her, snatched her
boy.
from me.
Oh,
I don't,
boy.
please, all the newspapers and all the blogs.
Not my real queen, I beg you.
Just queen. Ah,
You
okay.
need to tell the
Yeah,
blogs
I only said your
to be
queen.
specific. So, but it was a nice game of
Yes,
chess.
yes,
Thank you
yes.
very
Well
much.
done.
Great. Your salary for October was at stake. But I just didn't tell you.
I think, okay.
But thank God you won, so you are safe. Thank you so much, Gbadebo
You're
Rhodes-Vivour.
welcome.
A round of applause for him, please.
Thank you.
Yes, please. Okay.
So I'd like you to just talk directly to them. Some of them
Yes. And while you do that, please just bear in mind that it's not a mammoth crowd at the campaign ground. So if you can do it in 1 minute. 1 minute.
You know, to be honest, if all of you said you wanted to get into politics, I'll be very, very worried. Because that implies that you want to come into this disgusting arena of what has become politics in Nigeria. The fact that you said you are not interested in it at the moment implies that you still have a level of integrity, a level of, you know, desire to see things done properly. I imagine, like, there was a gentleman that talked about how back in the day, a lot of people would say they wanted to get into it because you listen to speeches by people like Obafemi Awolowo and others, right? They're inspiring. But you're talking about politics and you're talking about thuggery and violence and cheating and rigging, snatching ballot boxes, snatch it, grab it, run with it, that type of thing. But what I want to say to you is this. We do not change Nigeria by allowing the things that are ruining Nigeria to continue to ruin Nigeria. There's a fight that must happen to take the country back and align it with the values that you have, or that you want to see, or that you want to grow up in. So I would advise that encourage your parents, encourage your uncles, your aunts, because I don't think any of you can vote just yet, to get registered and to vote for a better Nigeria, to vote for a country where you will benefit, a country that will put people like you first, and a country that you will come into, and the politics will be much more sane, will be cleaner, and will be politics about the people, not the actual politician who only wants to come in for their own interests. Because the issue is, what has come to our politics is desperation. That is why people will plan violence against the same people they want to govern, right? They're not selling ideas. You have a governor that has been sitting for 4 years. He did not deem the people worthy to come to any debate.
All right.
To even talk to people and say, this is what I did with my time.
Okay.
Right? So we need a different type of politics. And the people that your parents, your uncles, your aunts play parts in making that happen and will lay the foundation for you to come into a better.
Do they even have a question for him?
Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Our
president.
To ask you a question that my mommy, she said that I should not be a president again, that the country is too bad. I'm like, Mommy, but I can make it good now. She said no. She said, just leave, borrow your leg back, borrow your hand back, and borrow your sense back from that one. Go and put it into your studies and become a doctor. That's what you should do.
You can be a doctor and be president. There's nothing wrong with that. And the process by becoming a doctor will prepare you to be president.
All right. So I want to ask for like a strategy to like convince my mommy to accept me as a president.
You have to do well in school. Show your mother that you can make good decisions. Show her that she can trust you. Right? Listen to your parents. Communicate with them. And let them know what you are dealing with at every time. You know, a lot of times you might be dealing with something and you are keeping it to yourself. Have a good relationship with your parents so they can trust you. When your parents trust you, No matter what you say you want to do, they'll be behind you. Trust me, I have parents like that as well.
All right, thank you. But Emanuela, please come on stage and take a picture with Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour, so that maybe that will convince your mother as well. Can we non-politically inclined people move left and right? We are talking about the future president, not the future broadcaster.
And play, you see this thing happen. You saw the picture with Kennedy and Bill Clinton.
Yeah. So let's put our hands together for her, please.
That means I also have to be president at some point for this picture to make sense.
Great.